What's going on, guys? Larry here. Sorry I haven't been posting any type of content for the past week or so. Just was trying to get acclimated to Ramadan, and now that we're about 12 days in, I think the posting can resume. You know, the headaches have stopped from the caffeine restrictions that I've put on myself, and I've gotten adjusted to the not eating of the food and, you know, limited water intake during the day. So it's a late one today. I haven't really been training either, and I didn't want to do a ton of whiteboard sessions, mainly because I do them at work and I don't have the time sometimes to be able to do them. But we got a late one in today, chest and back, not doing systemic conditioning. Life opportunities have happened where I kind of have to go into a holding pattern instead of a big push. So. You know, I'm going to hold off on a push until probably about late summer, early fall, and then try to make a big cut down. And but we'll see. You know, things are fluid, and you know, things change on an instant with me. So you just got to be ready for that. But in any event, I'm going to go through some chest work, going to go through some back work, and just feeling really good overall about the future. Feeling really good. That this Ramadan is going pretty smooth for me and my family. Excited for the future, but there's nothing more to be said. So, chest and back. Why do we change chest and back? Why is it such a good fit? Again, if you've never seen any of my videos, the reason why chest and back is so good is that it's good synergistically. I think exercise selection is key for a body part grouping to work. So I'm going to show you just one way to group your body parts, or one way to group chest and back rather, so you can get a nice full pump, everything feels really good, and how you can keep injuries at bay if you train this way. So we're going to keep it kind of higher rep. We're going to keep it a little bit lower rest because, again, fasting, dehydrating. So that's what we're going to do. So let's get to work.
Okay, good reason to use this split while you're fatigued or just breaking a fast. So I like to group these two body parts together because mainly I've been feeling like a lazy piece of crap. So that's me on a personal level. But why you should is that you can get more out of your training in this type of state, in this type of fasted state. If you're observing Ramadan or if you're observing any type of fasting period, you can get more work out of one session than you can going to the gym multiple days out the week. I find that with body part groupings like this, you can get the entire body done in 3 days, and you can use the rest of the days for rest because contrary to popular belief, this is not a muscle building phase. This is not a phase where you're going to grow a lot. This is not a phase where you're going to pack on a ton of size. This really needs to be treated like a recovery phase, or at the very least, in a maintenance phase, because you're not going to be gaining any superlogical type of changes within your body in this period. So treat it as such. Treat it as a rest period. Treat it as an active rest period, but attack it. It's very different from a deload. If you're thinking, well, this just sounds like a deload to me, I assure you it's not. It's a little bit more involved. Now, there are some people that get away with their normal volume, maybe a little bit lower, and if that works for them, that's great. But I find with most of the people that I talk with and most of the people that I advise that if they're going through this type of fasting period, that trying to get more out of one session, yes, it's a little bit more draining, but it does equate to more days out of the gym than inside of the gym, which you have to understand. You don't want to outkick your recovery in a period like this. When you have this type of low calorie deficit, if you're not on a contest diet, understand, if you're not on a contest diet, you do not want to outkick your recovery. You are talking to probably the most addicted gym person in the world. Okay? That's who you're talking to right now. But if you continue to outkick your coverage in a fasted state, it's not going to do your body or your progress any good. So please keep that in mind. Now, exercise selection. Let's get into that a little bit. as you notice, this is the only free weight type of movements that I'm doing. This is an incline press. It'll be followed by a chest supported row with dumbbells. I'm not the biggest fan of using free weights in this type of setting. Age does have something to do with it. I don't like having to like super focus or even advise people to really pick anything that takes a lot of balance or coordination. So again, you've probably heard me in previous videos say use things that you have to brace for and not against. But I can't go through a session without some type of free weight movement, and I don't like to advise people not going through no type of free weight movement. Plate loaded is fine, I get it, and I use it, but there's something about free weights that give you that look of work, of density, of a powerhouse physique. So I like to keep those in for people and myself in some form or fashion. Now, obviously, I probably went a bit too heavy on the rows. Probably should have capped it off at about 60. Those are about 75-pound dumbbells. But at the end of the day, I am a meathead. So to finish off the workout, in total, we did about 6 movements. This is the 5th movement right here. And I did this straight set style. This is merely stiff arm pull down, so you get a good stretch in the back. Minimal volume here. That's the key. Minimal volume here. Do enough to get in, get a pump, maybe break down a little bit of muscle, get out. Again, we're not going to see any huge superlogical changes within this type of time period right now. I know there's a lot of people that are observing the month that are Muslim and saying, hey, you can still gain muscle. It ain't working like that unless you have the appetite of Marcus Rule and you can squeeze in a bunch of calories in a very short amount of time. You are sleep deprived. You are fasting from drink and from food. There's no way you're going to be able to build muscle. I don't care what anyone says. It is virtually impossible within a subcaloric environment for you to get, especially an environment like this, for you to gain any type of muscle. So those are some reasons why you should use chest and back. Those are some reasons why you shouldn't go to failure in a period like this. Those are some reasons why you should pick certain movements based upon this month. I plan out my entire training calendar during Ramadan. So if you're a Muslim, or even if you're a Christian, or even if you're just planning a fasting phase, you may want to take into consideration these tips.
That was a good and a quick one for the most part. Nothing really to failure outside of chest supported rows. I loaded that too heavy. But in any event, good session today. Just trying to get back in the groove of things. I wanted to make this month mainly a month of rest, and I think I've done good so far. I haven't had a huge amount of anxiousness not being able to train, understanding what the month is about. So that's helped. But once the month is over, probably do a quick down and dirty strength phase just to get stronger, otherwise known as a neural phase, if you follow any of N1 Nutrition or N1 Education. So really just going heavy, lower volume, not as many days in the gym. I can't recover from the super heavy loads like I used to, so I had to play it smart about what I am loading, but should be interesting. Some for 8 weeks and then keep it pushing. So, well, maybe even 6. We'll see. Again, life changes. But in any event, like I said, thank you for watching. I'm back to posting. I just had to take a little bit of time to get acclimated to the holy month. So I appreciate you guys rocking with me. I'm going to churn out so much more content, and I'm going to get back to the whiteboard sessions. So without further ado, late night workout signing out. 12:55 in the morning on a Tuesday. So gotta love it. All right. Thanks, y'all. Have a good one.